we can make that happen. And so I think that whatever we do, whatever creativity we have, I challenge us to not lose sight of how do we make this more relational? You know? How do we make this more relational? You know, we talk about doing conferences and coaching and training via Skype, and I think that's marvelous. How do we keep it relational? I don't know. I mean, but it's a challenge, isn't it? It's a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge just to do that when you don't have a computer in front of you. You know, when you're face to face with someone. And I really believe that it's a life on life thing. How do we make it more life on life? How do we do that? And it's got to be about the Holy Spirit. I think, you know what I think? I think one of the weaknesses of the church, at least for me, my observation, is that we just don't know how to teach people to walk in the Spirit very well. Do we? If you know a place where that's going on, good. I mean, we work, and I think we can describe that as well as anybody here in this group, can't we? I think. But how do we, when they do it, you got to be, it's kind of like raising kids, isn't it? When they do something right, you got to be there. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Are we let them see it in our lives? You know, that I had to make that retraction to the church. And that's fine. I was glad to do it. Because I want them to see when you do something stupid like that, here's a way to handle it. You know? Sarah and I have been at this church for the past 12 years. We've been very involved in our home church as counselors, as teachers, elder, preaching, office staff. And we have only one message. This is all we know to say. I mean, I'm sorry. That's all I know. And I tell them that. I said, look, you asked me to preach. You know what you're going to hear. You're going to hear about Christ as your life. And that's the only message we have to share with people, whoever God puts in our pathway. And the message is to exchange life. We take every opportunity to share it that He gives us. You know what? It has taken, I don't know how you feel about this, Senator, but it's probably taken 8 or 10 years, I feel, for us to begin to see the evidence clearly to our eyes that what we've been teaching or what we've been living seems to be sinking in and making a difference. Would you say that? You can shake yes or no. You agree? All right. And I don't think we're really bad at what we do. I mean, maybe we are. But I know, Frank, and you're trying to transform your church. It's taken a while, hasn't it? It's been a battle.
Trickle irrigation.
Trickle irrigation. I like that. I might use that. May I? But you know what? 10 years. It's worth it. It's been worth it. I don't think we really are that bad, but I know that the counseling sessions and the conferences and Sunday school classes and occasional big church teaching times and the eldering that I've done have helped. In some ways they've contributed. I believe that. And I think, though, that Sandra and I would agree that the most progress we see are in those times when we have the opportunity to sit down with a couple and pray with them and share life on life with them. Not in a formal counseling session necessarily. Again, how do we reproduce that? How do we maximize that in our conferences? One of the things we try to do in our conferences is to make it more interactive and relational and give people a time to process and ask questions. So that's and we build those. We have those relationships with people, and they learn that for the most part, what we are trying to share with them is what we believe and what we live. So power. Authority to speak for God, and power. Power to make it become true in our lives, and to impart that somehow. Maybe through the laying on of hands, who knows? To impart that somehow to those that we work with. And build those relationships. Relationships are so valuable. They're so valuable. Jesus, with all the options that he had at his disposal, he decided, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to become one of them, and I'm going to go down there and I'm going to spend about 33 years as a human being. And an angel said, whoa, wait a minute. Isn't that going to limit you a lot? And you're going to Israel? Man, they don't have a good history. He said, no, they're my people. I'm going to go down there with them. And when I finish, there's going to be 12. No, only 11. Sorry. And they're going to get it done.